I lived in a small, rural town in southern Australia that you've probably never heard of. And I mean small. Population maybe 250, if that. Don't get me wrong, I like it that way. Peace and quiet. Well, that's why I moved out there anyway. Not so sure now. See, ever since I bought my home, I've been experiencing some strange happenings. My house sits nearby a small valley drop-off, which leads down to a creek. I promise that's relevant to the scene here. About a week after I moved in, I looked out the window to see a trail. A trail that was definitely not there before. It went straight up the valley, as if something had walked through there and stopped right at the top, right outside the fence line separating my house from the valley drop-off. But things didn't stop there. About a week later, I was up late at night, struggling to sleep. So I resigned to make myself a cup of tea and watch some late-night movies. Sometime during the night, I heard the sound of leaves rustling outside, out the window where I noticed that trail the previous week. I took a peek out the window, and I saw someone running off down the drop-off. Worried that vandals or maybe burglars were targeting my home. It was at this point I decided to keep a diary, just in case I might need a document of events to give to law enforcement later on. I'll paste the diary exactly as it is below. You can be the judge. "3rd November. It happened again tonight. Almost asleep, and I hear those footsteps running up the valley. Still not sure why whoever it is keeps coming up that way. I know there's a few local druggies that live across the creek. Maybe scoping my house. "12th November. They cut the fence this time. Woke up around 11 p.m. to an enormous racket. Turned on the spotlight out the side to see the fence was cut straight through. Must have used bolt cutters. Whoever this is seems organized. Unsure why they would cut the fence and just leave. Maybe a show of force. Had a bolt put on the gate. Might have been just trying to prove a point. No bolt's gonna stop them. Beginning to fear for my safety. 15th November. Woke up this morning to find my entire side fence line flattened. Cut straight down on either side. No idea why anyone would do this. Have reported to local law enforcement. Investigations underway. 18th November. Local druggies down the creek have been arrested on charges of property damage. Hopefully this brings an end to these incidents. 23rd November. Window was smashed in last night. How I didn't wake to the sound of it, I don't know. Side window, the one looking out over the drop-off, very clearly smashed inwards, and what looks like scratch marks around it on the outside. Have reported to police, and also to animal control. Not sure what makes claw marks like that. December 1st. Whatever is happening, it's not the druggies. They haven't been back in town. Just this morning, woke to find footprints in my yard. These are not normal. Too big. Have purchased a CCTV system. Hopefully, we'll get some real answers. December 5th. Have moved out of the house. Further incidents ensued, prompting me to check the security footage. Have not reported anything further to law enforcement. Too bizarre. On 2 occasions, shadows could be seen just beyond the tree line. On final night spent in the house, I witnessed something reach out from those trees. A long, spindly arm, followed by a tall figure, dragging itself out from the trees, up the valley, and into my yard. From 11 p.m. until 4 a.m., it just stood there, looking into my window occasionally. It would just walk around my yard, occasionally shuffling its way up the front stairs and peering in through the windows. At times, more of its kind would lumber out from the trees and join it. It seemed as though they were waiting for something. That's the end of my diary entries. Towards the end, it became very apparent to me that I was dealing with something not of this earth. The diary became less of a means to pursue any kind of legal action and more of a record of my final days, should anything happen to me. I have no idea what exactly it was that I saw on those security recordings. It was clearly something that we humans are not meant to witness. I know we've got some pretty frightening critters down here in the Down Under, supernatural or otherwise, and I'm sure I saw something that fits into that former category. The scariest part? In its own twisted way, it was almost like it was there to play. It was taunting me, and I get the feeling that it would have done a lot worse to me had I ever shown my face, had I acknowledged that I knew it was there. It seemed to me that is the reaction it was hoping for, an acknowledgement of its presence, to know that it snuck up on me, cornered me, to delight in seeing the fear of death in me. As for why it never came into the house, I don't know. Maybe it did. There were those claw marks up the wall the night my window was busted in. Maybe it was inside that night. Maybe on many of those nights, it had been standing right there in my room, just waiting for me to open my eyes.